Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
I got a interesting hand. It's an underground game in New York. It's
Okay.
1-2. It's cap 300, but this night specifically there was a lot of money on the table. I'm about 650 effective for this hand.
Okay.
Got two black kings. I'm under the gun +1, and the standard raise size is usually about, on an average night, is 10-15, but this night it was, a $15 open was getting about 6 callers, and it was just a lot of people just gambling. So I decided in this specific situation to open the 25,
Okay.
which was not totally unusual for this night. And two villains. Villain one, who's about 275 effective, calls the 25.
Okay.
And then surprisingly, it folds to the main villain.
Is villain one like right to your left? Like, is he in the cutoff or something? Or
Well, I was on the gun +1. He was right to my next. He was next to that.
Okay.
And they run a tournament this night, so he kept saying he was just trying to get his money back that he lost in the tournament. He was calling any hands, and then the villain in the big blind, who we're 650 effective with, he seemed potentially squeezing, raises to 100. And me and him both have big stacks, and given so it comes back to me, and he's big blind. So given the stack sizes, I think I made a mistake here. I think I should have raised, but I wanted to keep the other villain in the hand. And after listening to you, I know that with kings is probably not the best scenario usually. So I decided just to flat after thinking for a while.
Well, I think that this is probably partials, and you probably do want to 4-bet more often here with another player in the hand. If you were to look at all your kings and you say, well, I'm going to usually 4-bet, sometimes call. We talk about on Crush Live Poker, at least in theory, people should be 3-betting the big blind polarized when heads up, because they can call a lot. But so if you're heads up and you wanted to play your range so that you don't look too strong, I could see calling in position. With another guy in there, I would tend to 4-bet quite a bit. And then obviously you can't fold. I mean, it's a 1-2 game. I know you're 200 big blinds deep, but I've just seen guys go crazy with ace king and queens. So you could never fold if you 4-bet and the guy just came back over the top. I mean, it would be a cooler. So I would tend to 4-bet for those reasons. But you call.
I call, and I also partially because I call is I have no information on this guy. He's older gentleman, probably in his 70s.
Okay.
So I have no info on him. I usually know everyone that plays this game, and he seemed like he may have made 1 or 2 moves earlier in the night. He seemed like a competent player, but at the same time, I just immediately put him on aces. Kind of where my head went, even though it wasn't that huge of a raise by him. But yeah, so I flat, and then the villain next to me also comes along and calls.
So that's interesting because the villain behind you is pretty short, so he's called off like 100 of his 275. But I mean, again, that's probably not that uncommon at this level, but it is sort of strange. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was strange, and yeah, I'm I didn't really give him much credit on anything because, like I said, he was just gambling. There's a lot of players at this game specifically, at this place, this underground spot, that just seem to just play any hands.
Yeah, I mean, one other quick thing, too, is that if the guy is that crazy, I've done this before, too, a reason to flat there is if you ever think there's a back ship, if you think that the guy might flat you and then just ship with any pair, you can get both your villains. Do you know what I mean? Some guys go nuts where you open call, guy 3-bets, if you call, this guy's like, he's got pocket eights or like ace-jack, and he's just going to go with it like a PLO play with the dead money. And that can happen, too, sometimes. But anyway, so he calls.
So we go to the flop. Flop comes 4-9 jack. 4-9 are both clubs.
Okay.
The jack is a
4 of clubs, 9 of clubs, jack of spades. Okay.
Now, basically, as soon as the cards hit the board, the villain in the big blind, who made it 100, immediately bets out for 100.
Okay.
And So it comes back to me, and again, I think this is a spot that I should definitely be raising, but I decided on, again, just I wanted to still keep the other villain in the hands,
Yeah.
and I still wasn't sure if he was making a move or, he was just going to bet into me for 3 streets. So I decided on a flat of his 100.
I don't
And
think that that's that bad. I mean, I don't, because again, like, this is because of the short stack scenario behind you. First of all, it doesn't seem like the big blind is all that strong here when he bets 100. I mean, I guess he could have like a set of jacks, but you just don't usually see guys, like, guys will pile here with aces, kings, queens a lot just for protection. You know what I mean? They expect one of you to
yeah,
call. They don't usually dink and dunk like this. But again, with that short stack behind you, I actually don't mind a flat if you can get the short stack to ship or something like that. I mean, you don't really need to protect against all that much here.
hmm
If you've got the guy beat and he's got ace king, then he only has, a couple of outs. And if you think that guy's an idiot behind you, he might just ship in. Whereas if you raise and the guy behind you has like pocket eights, he might just fold. You know what I mean? So I don't
yeah.
think it's terrible to flat, and I actually might flat here more than raise.
Yeah, I mean, I tanked for a while and really was thinking, and I kind of had the same mindset as you, thinking if the guy behind me ships, obviously it's an automatic call, and I
Right.
was hoping that would happen. Um, and with the two black kings, I wasn't too worried about too many turn cards.
Hmm.
With the two clubs on board, so basically but the villain behind me actually ends up folding.
Okay.
Um, so we go heads up to the turn.
Yep.
And it turns
Pot is
out,
pot is 500 now, and it looks like you've got about 450 left. So you got like one pot size bet left.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And the turn brings the jack of clubs,
Jack of clubs. Okay.
3 jacks, and he immediately shoves.
I mean, yeah, I think you have to call here. He can easily have ace king with the ace of clubs here. And the thing is that the hand that I was concerned about on the flop here was pocket jacks. You're just not going to see a guy like quad jacks or pocket nines like just ship
Yeah.
here. And I don't know. I just don't think it's consistent with aces with the flop bet. You've got kings with the king of clubs, so you've got a backup here. I think I'm calling here.
Yeah, I mean, I tanked for a while because, again, I had no information on him, and at this level, from my experience, someone who's 3-betting pre-flop to 100, automatically my mind goes to aces.
Uh huh.
And I'm thinking maybe he's making a move with ace-jack once in a while. And, he could have had aces with the ace of clubs, and I'm basically drawing dead here, and drawing to a king. But yeah, I think for a while I did end up calling,
Hmm.
and the river brought a fourth club, and I was good.
Did you ever get to see the guy's hand?
No, he mucked and claimed he had aces. Claimed he had aces, but mucked his hand. And I tanked. I played the whole game. I turned my kings over.
Hmm.
Try to get from him. I asked him if he was going to show me if I folded. I mean, it was real. I get a little nitty. It was the end of the night. I didn't want to lose my entire stack right then and there, and it was just, I felt like it was a tough spot. I really wanted to get someone's opinion on it, but no one I really talked to. But I ended up making a call. I think I was probably good the whole way.
Yeah. The other thing too is that usually when a guy loses with ace, like I said, I mean, there's two bits of this, right? I just right off the bat, I thought that the flop C bet was not consistent in the low stakes games that I've seen with aces here. And also too, the second bit of this is usually guys will show the bad beat on the river.
Exactly.
Like if he just folds like red aces, he'll usually show it. I feel like this smells to me like this was ace king with the ace of clubs. Oh, actually no, it can't be ace king with the ace of clubs, right? Because you won the hand, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would have hit
He would have hit the club.
Would have hit the club. He would have had me on the clubs. But I mean, I honestly, looking back after the hand, I spoke with a couple people, and they were all saying they couldn't believe I was thinking about folding. I mean, would you even consider folding in that situation?
I mean, at 1-2, it's tough for me to fold big hands. And again, with this type of sizing, the times that I might fold kings like on a board like this would be if I'm up against a nitty guy and he went like bet all in for much deeper stacks, and it was just like consistent or like it comes out rags, It's really tough for it to come out rags and the guy shove all in and you to be good. I mean, that spot's kind of tough because the guy might do it with queens. But the times
Yeah,
I
that was.
might the times I
I'm
might
sorry.
fold kings if it goes like bet all in and the guy's just a super nit or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think once the jack
Yeah.
pairs and you've got the backup of the club, it becomes a call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.